Today we're taking a look at the all-new 2020 Kia Soul. Now this is a car with a very enthusiastic following. It's also a car that I haven't been too thrilled by in the past. Does this new version finally win me over? That's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV. Let's start with some history. I first reviewed the first generation Kia Soul way back in 2013, and I pretty much hated it.
Ugh, this lean-to, it's almost like the wheels and the bottom and the top of the vehicle are not doing the same thing. It's a very disconcerting feeling when you're driving.
I gave the Soul another look in 2017, this time with the new turbo model. The result? Much better, but still needed improvement.
Okay, this isn't so bad. This is pretty good.
For its third generation, the 2020 Kia Soul has gone under the knife and re-emerged with a whole new look, even if that look was probably cribbed off the Citroën C3 Aircross. Still, it is a solid redesign that maintains the original idea, but elevates it to a much better place. Now, the Soul finally looks serious. And yeah, I even like that branding bit integrated into the D-pillar. The Soul competes most directly with weird cars, like the Toyota CHR, the Fiat 500X, or even the little Ford EcoSport. You could also compare it to everyday cars like the Honda Civic and the Toyota Corolla. The new Soul pricing starts around $17,500. The X-Line we're testing today is a mid-range offering with model-exclusive 18-inch wheels, leather-wrapped steering wheel, leather-wrapped shifter knob, roof rails, and a special, more aggressive-looking body kit. Price as you see it here, $22,615 including delivery. The 2020 Soul offers two engine options. This X-Line comes with the base 2-liter inline-4. It puts down 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque attached to a CVT. Mileage on our test car is pretty good for the class, at 27 in the city and 33 on the highway according to the EPA. But you want to keep in mind that the 4-door Honda Civic hatchback puts out 180 horsepower and still gets 40 miles to the gallon on the highway. So while the Soul is good, it's really not great in this department. For more power with the Soul, you would need to jump up to the GT Line Turbo, which is the only way to get a turbo engine. That mill puts down 201 horsepower and manages up to 32 miles to the gallon. The GT Line Turbo, which also includes a bunch of extras like a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission and upgraded sound system, starts at $27,500. But back to this X-Line. Rear trunk space is adequate for the class at 23.8 cubic feet with a wider and lower opening than the outgoing model. Second row accommodations are basic but spacious, no vents, no armrest, but you do get headroom for miles. Legroom is down slightly from the previous model, but most passengers won't notice. Up front, the cabin redesign is a nice upgrade from the previous generation. It features a 7-inch infotainment system as standard equipment. Upper trims can option a massive 10.5-inch system. Both systems do support XM radio, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Plus, they do provide rear-view camera with cross-traffic alert. This trim level also includes blind spot warnings and lane change assist. For some strange reason, forward collision avoidance is available on the lower S and GT line trims, but not available on this X-Line model. That's just weird. The full safety suite, along with smart cruise control, is only available on the top-end GT Line Turbo. So far, I really like what Kia has done with the interior. It's clean, straightforward, and all the controls do fall to hand nicely. The center cluster sticks to traditional gauges with attack and speedo, and a multi-function in the middle. For this price range, that's perfectly fine. It shows you all the valuable information that you need while driving, and it does so fairly efficiently with the steering wheel mounted controls. Now, let's see how it drives.
Suspension, it's better, but it's still not great. In the back is a torsion beam, not multi-link. And because of that, it does suffer when you're getting into like the high-speed twisties or on a bumpy road. It just doesn't have a real chance to settle that back down. I mean, Honda Civic at this price point does have multi-link in the back. This one definitely went a little cheap on that side. And handling at the limit shows. But honestly, how many Soul drivers are going to drive at the limit? I think very few. Let's go ahead and line this up for a 0 to 60 run. Position right here. And complete stop. Now I'm going to put the transmission into sport. I have the drive mode into sport, even though it doesn't really do much for 0 to 60s. And 3, 2, 1, and go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Yeah, it really wasn't that bad.
For the class, that is more than acceptable. If you want something significantly faster, you can always jump up to the Soul GT line turbo model, or look at something that is just faster, like, I don't know, Honda Civic Type R.
The Kia Soul is available with 3 different transmissions. You can get a base manual, or you can get the CVT like we have here. On the top-end turbo model, you get a 7-speed dual clutch setup. So you pretty much got something for everyone. Around town, this one actually works pretty good. When I hit the throttle, I get power. If I want to have it emulate a step transmission, I just switch it over into sport, and I can manually switch through the gears. And it does it pretty quickly, which is exactly what you want with a CVT. And when I don't want to get all sporty with the transmission, I can always flick it back into regular drive mode, and it is going to be the most economical way to drive.
Visibility in this car is, of course, ridiculous. It's a fishbowl. Visibility has never been an issue with the Soul. But it is nice to see that they finally included blind spot warnings, especially at this price point. Some other cars, like the Honda Civic, have a lot of great standard safety tech, but for some reason, they don't include blind spot warnings at all. As you're probably picking up, I actually really like this new Kia Soul. Finally! I think the team at Kia has done a great job of moving the Soul into the future without sacrificing value in the process. And that's key. It's great that you can still get a front-wheel drive with a stick shift for around $17,500. And if you really want to spend, almost $30,000, you can, and you get a lot of features for the money. Although honestly, if you're looking at the X-Line Turbo, I'd probably consider something else for near $30,000. There's a ton of options. But back to this X-Line. In terms of the Kia Soul, I think the X-Line is probably the best option of the lineup. For one, it does look better than all the other packages, in my personal opinion. I actually like that pseudo crossover lower sill cladding. Also, it does come with a decent selection of features, and not just safety, but the entertainment and the seat positions. These are all really good things in this car. I would prefer heated seats at this trim level, but that's probably the only thing I'd complain about. For $22,000, Kia is going to sell a ton of the X-Line models. So that leads us to our next question. Do you think that the nose of this new Soul is a ripoff of the Citroën C3 Aircross? Post a comment below. Also, be sure to like and share our videos. We're really hoping to get up to 100,000 subscribers in 2019. And to do that, we're going to need your help. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks again for watching.